joining me here in the studio, a gentleman familiar to most, a man who actually changed the landscape of broadcasting in the Isle of Man many years ago when starting a radio station called Energy, of which I was there. Gosh, that's a long time ago. Anyway, he's doing the same again, and I have to also straight away declare an interest that I appear on a Saturday afternoon on The Sound, don't I? Not, Mr. Turner, at the moment, anyway.
You do indeed, yeah. We'll see how this interview goes. You might have done your last show.
So with that out of the way, it's been an internet-based radio station, but as our heading is saying, you are going to shake, or trying to shake things up yet again. Now, first of all, I mean, the question everyone's going to be saying is, we can't need, I mean, this is the public, don't need another radio station. There's 3 of them already locally producing content. What are you needing to put another one in the mix for?
Well, it's an interesting question about need. It's not about need, it's about choice. And we don't need one because it's already there. All we're looking to do is to provide another platform to broadcast it on, because the Sound is already on the air. It's been on, we launched in August last year, so the service is there. But if you look at digital stations that are available to everybody, there's thousands of them available. What we're providing is another locally based product that people will then have the choice of tuning into.
Well, I mean, obviously, when you started Energy, Manx Radio weren't presumably that keen about it, but you got it in, and once that started, it opened the floodgates as such, and ended up with 3FM coming along as well. Surely now there is catering for all the markets that generally need something here. I mean, really, are you going to bring something new to the game here? I mean, don't all the radio stations have to sort of pick the different age groups already?
Well, yeah, I'll come back to that in a second, because what first of all, as I said, the station's already on the air, so it's there.
Yeah. But not broadcasting as...
It's not broadcasting
in the traditional old
on an FM analogue
and that's what I'm concentrating on here. Yeah.
However, the entire population of the Isle of Man could tune into it if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. Instead of going to your local electrical shop and buying a radio, you could buy an Alexa smart speaker and it's there.
But you can listen to any station around the world now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, why would we then say, but we won't let you put it on FM? Because it's already there. That's the point. What I'm wanting to do, and again, this comes at no cost to the taxpayer or anybody else. All we need is a piece of paper from the government saying we can do it. We want to put it onto FM so that it's a little easier for some people to tune into, because not all the cars have the apps yet. A lot of cars do. People are listening to us in their cars because they're telling us so. So we want to put it on the traditional FM wavelength as well as the digital platforms they can already receive it on.
Let me try the question one more time, but slightly from a different angle, which is not the public, but the traditional broadcasters in place already. But aside yourself, which obviously we'll be very happy to see it happen, you're talking about 2 other commercial, or 1 semi-commercial and 1 fully commercial radio station who won't want this.
They might not want it, no, but at the end of the day there's lots of choice out there, and all this is doing is modernising, we're modernising the landscape really by providing that choice. If DAB came along here, there'll be a whole host of stations available that are currently not available.
Digital audio broadcasting, and you said dead and buried, I think.
It is.
But any car's got it, and we don't have anything besides the BBC on it.
The BBC's on it, yes. But of course, the way things are going now with IP, a lot of the cars are going to have IP radio anyway. So, why should we say, oh, well, if they want that, they can tune into something that's made in London or Barcelona or wherever. We can make the programmes here in the Isle of Man, which is what we're doing. So we can have a local service, local format, local news, local information, and it's essentially for the Isle of Man.
So it's gone out to public consultation, has it yet, or is that what we're about to find out?
The way the Act is very archaic here in the Isle of Man. It goes back to 1993, I think it is. It's been amended a few times over the years, the Broadcasting Act this is. So what we have at the moment is we have the Sound Radio, which is available, soundradio.im, get it on your phone and all the rest of it, but it's not regulated at all by the government. So not that we think that's a good thing, because at the end of the day we're not afraid of regulation, but technically you've got a service there, you could say anything you like on it, and the government have no controls over the standards, the programme content, the news, nothing whatsoever. So we're actually putting ourselves into the arena where we will end up regulated by the government and have to pay a licence fee. However, the benefits of it is that we'll end up with a quality station available on FM as well, so it will be regulated. So there is a bit of a drawback.
Where's your target audience? Because again, this really is. I thought everything was being served, or that's what the public may assume is being done already, right?
Well, that's what some may tell you, but of course, what we have is there's a huge hole because nobody's playing the older music. Now, in our document, which is available on the government's website, we did some serious monitoring over a period of time of the three local services, Manx Radio, Energy FM, which we obviously already had because we run Energy FM, and also 3FM. And what was quite interesting was the output from the stations was all very modern. Now, Manx Radio has a whole load of different programmes at different times.
Have they got an age range?
Yeah, no, they don't have an age range. They have a format.
Because they're public service broadcast.
Yeah, and they do everything really well. They have specialist programmes, they have the Carnaby Street Show, they have the specialist music shows, brass band, and they cater for all of that. Their main daytime music policy is quite a mixture. But of course, they lean very much on the speech content and the local content, interviews and sport and all these other things. So what we're focusing on is the music. Now, when you compare the sample we did of 3FM, most of their music was quite modern.
But what's their target range? Written down into there is one written.
We don't know what the age range is because it's your format that's important. Age to me is irrelevant.
I thought you Energy was there and 3FM was the next one up and Manx Radio was sort of...
Well, that's what maybe it was supposed to be, but that's not happening.
Okay, where does the sound fit in there?
Well, the sound is playing mainly older music, so there'll be a lot more oldies. So you're going to hear a mixture of what we call the solid gold category, which could be, the 60s. You've got a bit of Elvis in there. You've got classic Bee Gees, the Neil Diamonds, even the softer stuff, the likes of the Barbra Streisands and artists like that in there. But quite a bit of 70s, 80s, 90s. There's a little bit of the more melodic music from the noughties and also current artists that you might hear on the softer stations like Smooth Radio and maybe Radio 2. So there's a lot more emphasis on the older music. So it will predominantly, I would suggest, appeal to the over 45s.
Right. You are seen as a disruptor because, Manx Radio was the only show in town. You come along, then another station, which you didn't want the other station, did you really? You wanted to be the only player in town. Now you accept that other people can come along. You get this licence because somebody else go for another licence. And would you object to it?
Well, they could do. That's in
so
theory.
The
reason that we objected to the third licence coming in at the time was because it was straight off the back of a second licence being issued, and they hadn't. With us, they'd made us jump through lots of hoops, like they restricted our hours. We were only allowed to start at weekends to start with. We had limited daytime hours. It was a bit like going back to the old days of the IBA.
But never underestimate Dew and Turner. You broke the monopoly on the Isle of Man, did you not?
They did say it couldn't be done.
Yes.
And if you remember that sort of famous quote when we were at Manx, because at Energy FM, I offered to do when I was working for Manx Radio. Yeah. And it was all sort of poo-pooed. It couldn't be done, and all the rest of it. And if you don't want to do it, we'll go and we're going to do it ourselves.
Get your own train set. And do
so we did. We bought our own train set, and we did it. But I think the landscape has changed quite a bit now with digital services. People are wanting choice, and this is about choice. This is not about the government paying for it. They don't need to pay for it.
There's only so much advertising money out there, is there not?
But you've got to spread it. But you've got to remember, the sound's already on the air. It's been on the air since August.
Is it a commercial undertaking?
Of course, it's a commercial undertaking.
Yeah,
but it's a way of providing the extra service. Any business that's providing a service looks to see what else they can provide. So, for example, the other stations, Manx Radio, are doing the online video and vision, and they're doing all sorts of other things. So you don't just sit and do what you can. You can look for opportunities of expanding your service. So we think there's definitely scope to have the two stations, Energy and the Sound, sitting side by side, providing a range of programmes. And it's up to people whether they like them. If they don't like them, they don't have to tune in.
What's the consultation then? Asking people what they would like to listen to, or what are they listening to, or what they want?
The consultation is because the Act is from the days when there wasn't any choice. It's about the ability can the applicant maintain the service? Well, the answer to that's yes, because it's been going nearly a year. It's on the air. There's things like, are the owners involved in religious bodies, political parties, and all that sort of thing? This is all from the old days. And
quite a few hoops to jump through then.
Well, yeah, but they're all very straightforward. And the government just feel that they have to do this public consultation. No, was it public notice or something?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So what happens then? I mean, obviously you're going to get some objections from the obvious places. Besides that, who decides you can or can't? Is it Communications Commission?
Yes, it's the Communications Commission. But
and you need frequencies, wouldn't you?
Well, the frequencies come from the United Kingdom. They're not controlled
Ofcom?
By the Parliament. Ofcom.
You're kidding?
No.
See?
Ofcom.
Oh, right.
So we've already done that work,
Mm-hmm.
and we would then have to go to Ofcom. If the Isle of Man government say yes, you can relay the service on FM, then we have to then look for frequencies. We've got the equipment ready to go. We've got everything ready to go.
Right.
It's quite frustrating that the only thing stopping us, you've got to remember, this station's on the air and everybody now can tune into it if they want to. We're just not allowed to transmit it on FM at the moment. All we need is a piece of paper and we can get on with it. And that's the frustrating thing. Why would they say no? Because
when
it's already there.
When do we find out what's going to happen?
The consultation runs through till June, I think. Which is the speed things happen over here. Nothing's really particularly quick. So obviously that then delays our rollout. We can roll the thing out as quick as we can get the necessary permissions in place.
Okay.
The delay is not down to us. But at the end of the day, if people want to tune in, and I keep saying this, nobody's forced to watch a TV programme. Nobody's forced to tune into a radio station. If they like it, they can tune in, and if they don't, they can listen to something else.
And isn't there a fantastic programme on Saturday afternoon? I couldn't help myself.
That's your programme.
I couldn't help myself.
Yes,
that's
yeah.
interest. Anyway.
Absolutely. But it's there, it's choice, and if people want to listen to it in advance, then it's there now. And there's a great range of programmes on there. Hope people like them, and give it a listen. soundradio.im, and you can download the apps and listen to it in your car, in your kitchen, wherever you like. And you can even listen to you.